You know, if Arma could, like, transfer over to the OBS window, that would be great. Actually, wait, is it because of this? Might be because of that. Yeah, that's why. Lamau. No, I just have to be patient. Alright, let's go ahead and, whew. I need to practically decide on this AO, so let's see. What do I want to keep? What do I want to put down? What do I want to make sure is a part of the roster, isn't part of the roster? I guess the first thing we should do... Yeah, right, Wolf. Well, welcome. I mean, you're here now. Let's see. I guess let me send patch. That. So I guess we just want to, like, purely focus on our units. Which is just going to be, like, a Russian focus. So I guess let's just do a little, like, debut of everything that we have and work from there to make our rosters of information. So, yeah, I mean, what do we want to offer today is the real question. We obviously are going to have ZSU. Let's put that on a 90-degree rotation. And, yeah, so we got a Ural, UAZAA Vic, ZSU. I could have sworn Cop had a Tunguska. Could have sworn. Those cable ties are too tight, Zeus-kun. Oh my god, stop it. Why am I still awake? Bearded, it's because over the past few days, I have been more productive than, like, any other. I've gotten more done in the past few days than I want to say in, like, in the past month. In all honesty, in terms of, like, the amount of work and the amount of effort I put on projects, like, overall. Mainly because the DDOS situation has put me under stress, and we've been constantly evolving and picking up information. Originally, it gave me a little bit of a sense of pride in what was going on, then I dug more into it and realized more and more what it was about. And now it's just a matter of, okay, like, moving on. But I guess I'm up simply because I choose to at this point. I don't really have much else to go with there, you know? Tractors with autocannons. Yeah, no, don't worry. We're gonna... I need some memes to build for this scenario. Don't you worry. But I have to build, like, the entire thing of my document here that I'm gonna write up. Because of how this mod set works. Because it's a mini Pay4Pain. But I'm gonna be using all the leftover stuff from the previous Pay4Pain to work with everything. Oh god, a BM21. I'll offer that on the roster for now until I decide to change it, but that could get messy. Is there anything else I'm missing? We have the 82 Alpha, we have the MTLB, which I guess I'll put on this side. But, you know, it's just the night shift. We'll be writing a document. Russia can't invade a country, still have the DDoS. So, evolution on that, by the way. We tracked it down a bit more, and unfortunately we found out it's not a Russian state actor like I was hoping. No, it's someone that bought a domain through a server company in Russia and is using that to attack us, which also makes sense of why they didn't bother trying to hide the connection. So it's someone just using another service, or it could be a state actor, but I think it's more so someone doing something, which gives me a few additional possibilities based off of information I got throughout the month and other things that happened. I've got a few theories over it, but we were also able to confirm today that when I streamed in POG, TSB wasn't touched, but I've also done a few other late night streams like this one. So what I need to do is I need to see if there's like a schedule to this, because clearly, like, based off of the timestamps that are going on, this is someone seeing that I'm streaming and then causing the attack, the DDoS. So now it's just a matter of, okay, like, based off of this information, how do we adapt from it? And that's just the whole 9-yard question of, okay, like, what do we do? You know what I mean? Like, we just got to work with it at that point. It's just another obstacle. I expect it to last probably a while. And we'll just go from there, you know? But I'm going to have one hell of a meme campaign to run after this. Like, hell yeah. I just realized I am pulling everything from the wrong freaking faction. I wanted to do Russian forces. There are my Tunguskas. Yeah, I was like, there's some, like, civilian-grade shit in here. What is this? Nah, there we go. There are my damn Tunguskas. All right. Yeah, there we go. This is all the stuff I wanted. I'm like, this... Like, we're missing some stuff. But no, I'm just pulling it from the wrong section. I guess I am tired. I don't know. But I remember, like, they had a solid green BTR. Where is that BTR? There she is. Now we're going to want a solid green 80 alpha. A 90. Do we need a 90 HQ? Not really, because it just has the open coax. And then we have Vodniks as well. What's BPPU? Oh, autocannon, murder man, and then a KPTV. Oh, the pricing's gonna be interesting for this one. That's to say the damn least. And then you have frickin' MTLBs. Oh, man. I don't even know. I think we'll just sort that as, like, the lowest tier, because that only has the 762. But again, we'll pick and choose what we want from this list, but, you know. Yeah, Bearded, pretty much. That's what happened to MCO. That's what happened yesterday. That's what happened today, which I guess is technically yesterday. So it'll just be, you know, however long it lasts. But I mean, depending on how long it goes, I'll just look for other solutions to do XYZ with. And again, I have a few ideas of why, but at the same time, I don't really care. It's just about kind of figuring out what's what and then moving on. Bearded, I don't think it's going to be an issue, because that means it's going to be like a very long-term thing. And if it honestly becomes that, I can literally just... I have a lot of friends. I can just borrow a server with the necessary player count needed to run a Pay4Pain. And then we go from there. You know what I mean? Like, long-term wise, I don't think there's going to be any issues. Even if it happens long-term, because it just means I cycle everything out. And we see just how dedicated this, like, whoever's doing it is to me. In which case, I don't know. Like, who did I piss off? Like, I try not to piss people off for issues like these, and they still happen. So it's like, all right. I guess the moral of the story is be a dick. Be a dick, run a cult, and you'll be fine. Oh, man. What a time. Yeah, so I'm just templating all those back there. We don't need infantry, because I'm just going to be using MV. No. MSV, EMR. It's my best bet. A little bit of trolling. Yeah, right. Zam, that's... Y'all are funny. I mean, another thing that I've noticed with myself is if this happened to me, like, I want to say a year ago while I was purchasing the house and I saw that, you know, how much this could potentially mess with my revenue stream, I'd probably be freaking out a lot more. But now it's like, okay, like, this is happening. What can I do about it? Not really much I can do about it right now, so should I care? Nah. It's just, the only thing I've been worried about is the community itself. Because obviously, I don't want, you know, 20 to 40 people showing up to play an op only for it to get, like, DDoSed. Which, thankfully, you know, as soon as we stopped streaming, they stopped the DDoS, and it's like, okay, cool. But it's like, I feel bad for those guys, because they're the ones that are, like, the innocent bystanders in the way. So it's like, you know, they're just getting fucked with the most. Because I genuinely don't have an issue. Because, I mean, if it's really bad, all I need to do is literally call up 3 different communities and say, hey, can I, like, you know, run a Zeus op for you once a week or 2 weeks so I can, you know, move all the TSB time slots I have to other communities. And then that, you know, jumbles a bunch of stuff. And then if I want footage, I can just, you know, record it. But YouTube front logs are fine right now. Like, there's... People are telling me it's more of a big deal, and I look at them and I'm like, it's really not. Like, this is just whatever. And I'm a little happy that it is that way, you know, because again, it could be a lot worse, but yeah, why not? Especially since I've got 2 DayZ servers, so after Pay4Pain is run, I'll have all the free time I need to, because I was gonna again get into DayZ this week. That all got pushed back, but Frost is reworking the entire loot system because he doesn't like it. So that's all getting pushed back as well. So it all works out. At the end of the day, it all works out. So I really don't care. You know, like, it's done. GG. Ah, man. No, let's go for a summer. Let's do that. I want to offer a Special Forces team. And then 2 scouts. See, it's been fun, though, because my main focus before I went into YouTube was cybersecurity. So I just did a quick threat analysis of myself, and I'm like, all right, like, if I were to be my own red team, where would I hit myself? Okay, yada-da. Put a few things on the back area of two-factor, or whatever. Two-factor, what is it? Two-factor something. I'm already blanking out on everything, but... damn, frickin'... Sorry, there's a fruit fly I wanted to kill. Two-factor authentication, whatever. Changed out a few passwords, because it was time to do that anyway. I let that slack a bit, in all honesty. You know, just pushed me to do an update, look at my finances. But, you know, again, the amount of productivity I have gotten done, like, I'm just kind of laughing about. All right, so we're going to have a 4-man team, and then I'm going to have a 10-man team. Do we have an Freuder in here? I don't see one, so it would probably be, like, best medic. It would be a 9-man team, I think. Or a Grenadier. So we'll put that down. And then you'd have the team leader. And then we can do marksman, machine gunner. Does the TL get? Yes, so I don't have to worry about another GL there. And we can do a sniper spotter convo as well. We're doing the KSVK, though. That actually has a punch to it. And then we're going to do a rifleman with an RPG-18. And then the next team's going to have, let's say, the AT gunner. Oh, we can do a Metis, which actually is good. That means we can have some specialized things as well. So let's do the RPG-7. Do we want to do 2 riflemen at that point? I'm debating. One more RPG-18 and then a regular rifleman. So your rifle, your fire team, your squad. Now we can have like a dedicated AT group, which is honestly going to be 2 Metises, an RPG-7, and an RPG-18. I'm not going to do machine gun groups, just because it's just one extra thing that we didn't really need. And then we need an AA section, which is going to literally be... And then a short-range AT guy, RPG-18 to defend. So rifle squad, AT-AA, and then sniper team. So that would be KSVK and then the spotter. Work with that. I'm doing all right, 40. Hope you're doing okay. And then when you have your 1 Spec Ops team, we got our vehicle template here. Tunguska! Fighting furry wolves and bears. So we're going to have custom mutants. We're going to have dinosaurs. Apparently it's very, very rare, but Falcon found a way to make a 1% dino random chance spawn appear. And it was funny because he was talking about it, and then he just walked into the forest, and then we heard a freaking rah, and he got eaten. So, you know... Gotta worry about that one, Chief. Send in Goat Team 6 now.
Noise more jump scare Vietnam ups. Of course Falcon found dinos.
Well, no, Falcon wasn't. It was Frost doing it. But thanks for the 30-month resub Sunday. Sorry if I said Falcon. I meant to say Frost, but hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of the scenario. I don't think we... Do we have a 2S25? No, we only have BM21s. They don't have a 2S25. This is Cup, not RHS. I mean, we can look up one real quick. Yeah, no, there's no 2S25. Maybe there's a 2S1? The only other arty tank I can think of? No. Yeah, we're stuck with that. I'm just trying to think, based off of this, where should... I think we're going to make a Wage Cage 2.0, like a mini Wage Cage. Just because that thing is a riot. I just need to figure out how I'm going to... Like, I need to slant the turrets, otherwise they will shoot each other. Oh my god, wait, hold up. Do we have a tractor? We of course, yeah. There's a vanilla tractor. Yes. And there's a vanilla rope item. Where are you? Yes. Oh my god, how big can I make that Congo line? No. No. Oh. Oh, this is cursed, but it's... Okay. Slight issue, which means we're going to have to lower it, which I have no idea if that's going to fuck with its reference point. But you know what? Hold up, so what if I... What if we do you that way? And that'll at least put you above ground, right? Or where did you go? No, you're still up there. So why is the reference point for the rope... Huh. So no matter what I do, you're going to be up there. That's kind of weird. That is weird. It's treating it like a... Huh. I always run into this issue with this one asset, too. I don't know what they did to code the C rope, but they coded it. I think just to... I don't even know anymore. It's fine. It's fine. We just have a really far away reference point. I'm used to this shit. Look, it's Arma 3, alright? And I'm Liru, which means I have... we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Bump it up. Wait, so if I take you and I... Oh my god, sir, what are you doing? Alright, so I have to Okay, this is gonna be... I'm just gonna dock you here. Oh, hello? Satan wants it back. Okay, now we need to make... The issue is if he has a contact... So I need to make that invincible, is what I'm gonna go with here. Yeah, Falcon, I linked it. It's their official statistics site, which is why I was really confused when Arcor said those are unofficial statistics. And I'm like, but did you just call your own website unofficial? Like, what? Those are literally the official statistics. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, go check my Twitter. I got into a little a spout with a few members of FNF. Because I was praising Bay and Falcon and some of Scandi Recon, because Falcon and Scandi had a falling out. They didn't like that, and then one of the FNF staff members also jumped in, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Trouble in the Congo. I'm going to call it Ukrainian Parade, all right? It's literally a quadruple toe. Now, how am I going to do this? I need a crew slot. I think the easiest way to do that is to actually just go into here, check that box, click that button, click that, and then just drag a dude out. Delete that. And I need a farmer. Yes. Dude just sits in here sideways like a boss. Bro, he's not even sitting. He's just, like, partially standing it. Wow. There goes my hero. Alright, so I need to disable sim of all this, and then I need to jump in and test whether or not it can be joined in for now. And I need to make sure I do this properly, or at least remember to uncheck it. I'm going to set those as friendly so they don't shoot at green for when they spawn in. Ooh, excuse me. I need to select both you and you and disable your damage. So the joke is going to be, you can't kill him, but he's just an innocent guy towing his Vix, but unfortunately the Russians were still in the Vix. Why? Because why not? Let's see, enable damage, cool. But no, this is going to be the start of a new campaign I'm going to have Pog do. Because originally I was going to write a few suggestions down and make them vote on it, but they're going to play my meme campaign, all right? Because I have a wonderful campaign based off of what's been happening, and I absolutely love it. Let's see here. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Disabled simulation. Because we're going to write this as a custom comp, but before I do that... Yeah, so the last one, February, March, so those were... Yeah, so I've only done a TOC Pay4Pain. We have some POG stuff under boats. So I can store it under a new category, just not accessories. So in order to do that, let's go ahead. Attributes. No. Save as custom comp. And I guess since they're Russian, let's save them under a Russian category, because it's all going to be Russian themed. So, let's do Spetsnaz. Spetsnaz Summer. Yeah. Now, hypothetically, I should be able to instantaneously test that. So let's go ahead and go on Zeus. It just means we're going to have to use all the attach commands and, whatchamacallit, you know? But my whole point is, tonight we're going to build everything. I'm going to build the document, then I'll, you know, wake up tomorrow morning, we'll continue the stream. The Ukrainians strike back. I don't want to... Here's the thing. I don't want to use anything politically charged for this, because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. So we're just using memes, and that is the line. All right? Literally just the memes. Oh, God, the backup bunker. I'm so tempted. Oh, God, right. And then the image below with the freaking send in the VDV meme. I'm using that, though, as a... Well, I have to micro it, but, I mean, we'll think of something. Yeah, so it floats because of that, but that's okay because that original truck is invincible. But yeah, no, I can also spawn attack dogs, technically. But theoretically, if I then attach the rope to the tractor, then it shouldn't be an issue, and these things shouldn't follow that. Oh, but it's rotated, right, because it doesn't like to follow rotation. That might be a limitation, then. Yeah. Technically, could I get you to do a 90-degree... If we have it, like, based off of what it is... Ah, flubber nuggets. Okay, 1 second. It's gonna make me do this the hard way on a 3-variable rotation. Because of course it is. You know, why wouldn't it? Alright, so I'm gonna take you. I need you to go that way, but you're referencing yourself as a global variable. So what numbers do I need to put you in to rotate you properly? If I were to... Interesting. Okay, I'm going to copy that and that. So what variables under pitch, yaw, and... So for you, it's just 90. But for what... So then what is it for you? It's 0, 0, 0. So what... Set pitch bank. Can you... Here's the thing, though. When you spawn a custom comp, it doesn't execute any scripts, right? They don't execute scripts when you save them. right? When you save them under, okay, you know what? No, we're gonna freaking, I'm gonna test it then. But if you load it as a custom comp, it would have to be put under a global variable. So if you were to theoretically do that, let's make a simple one then. No, because you wouldn't be able to do attaches because it has to reference specific variables in that attachment. But if you use this underscore this, 1 second. I'm going to do a really simple test. And for that, I need a document, this add weapon. I need something with all of, this is all 40K stuff, so I don't think that's going to work properly. Then we can, yeah, no, if we're testing global variables, then we can do a regular event handler as a test to see if it gives it infinite ammo. So, all right, hypothetical then. I might have to cut this down, but that's because it was a long line of code. Yeah, so we get rid of the thing. That. On the init line. So give me an MTLB. Or any vehicle will do. Give me... Literally any vehicle can do, Liru. Like, why are we even still thinking about choosing? Give me a BMP3. Why? You can pick any vehicle, Liru, you insane little monkey. Okay. So the test is going to be then, because if we want this to work properly with other stuff, we need to set it as enable simulation. The thing is, I'm worried about it ignoring any inputs. So we'll do a difference then. For my own curiosity, but enable that simulation. So we're gonna save this as so test with sim. And then this will be test without sim. Just to see if there's any sort of localized execution of scripts that are tied to it. Because I'm going to be honest, if there is, then that opens a door. That does open a door. But how much of a door is anyone's guess. You can't do attach because unless... Oh, man. See, this is my issue now. I have so many different ways I can execute things. So I don't know. Oh, my brain is spinning. So test with sim. No, it does not execute scripts. Because then you're going to have to test without the sim on a global function. Yeah. So it doesn't execute scripts at all. So I was just confirming that. Because the reason we build it in custom composition is so they can be mass produced. And so if something, oofs, then it doesn't affect you too much. So now I guess what I want is the rotate. And I'm going to try to get a combination that goes up to that line. So let's try 90 degrees. Well, no, we'll make this even. So 90 degrees here. What? But no. But did I just put it in the wrong box and I just imagined me being an idiot? Which is quite possible. Don't get me wrong. I'm an idiot at times. A lot of the time. That's me being nice to myself, but no. No. So I guess another way to technically look at it is you look at it this way. Because this will tell you the rotation of the object already. Yeah, okay. I could have sworn we did that, right? Yeah, so then it breaks, which is fine. And then we're going to enable the simulation. It's going to fall. And then we're going to rotate back to 90. What? Okay, 90. 90, 0, 0. Why are you adjusting the other one? 90, 0, 0. I think it's because it's attached. So let's try it like this. This is me walking myself through my own process because I thought about doing this other way, but I wanted to see it just in case. So watch this. What if instead we do this? We attach, we attach, we attach, we attach, we attach, and then we rotate before we enable simulation, and then maybe that'll unfuck it. I think. Did that not unfuck it? Unfuck it. Unfuck it. Ah! Okay. Okay, cool. That opens... That means I can do rotation on custom comps if I add that as a list of things to do on objects. Let me do it like 2 more times just to make sure that's not a spoof. And this is on a single player instance, so this item will be the test in the multiplayer thing. So I'm only going to use the rotation for that, but that will help me bypass another issue I have, which opens up another gateway for Pay4Pain in terms of doing it this method on custom compositions. In terms of having stuff pre-rotated, I just have to pre-list every rotation for any assets I'm doing, which is going to add to the time, but it means it's still possible. So on like bigger bosses and stuff, that's going to be okay. Okay. Now, before I get too excited, let's make sure that that just wasn't a freaking goof, all right? Yeah, you can't do control because then it goes to that asset immediately. And then rotate. 90. Enable sim. Now, I do have to be careful because it overrides the other Vix there. It disables their damage as well because it overrode with that. So, another thing to be mindful for, but it looks like it's working, which is awesome. Because I like to rotate my turrets certain degrees. That way they're less likely to shoot each other. And it also, if I have like a giant floating thing, it means it has a little bit of gun defilade to properly engage stuff. So that is a really good sign. So I'm happy with that. I'm very, very happy with that. Just another step in the evolution of one of the various projects I've been running, you know, and it's exciting. It's the research and development of stuff, you know. Oh man, I have some really dumb ideas with these. Specifically, I want to unscript them and unscript their weaponry and rescript them to fire something a little more murderous. But we'll get there when we get there. One other thing I want to look at is boats. Because I know we have the Big Daddy. But do we have... No, we do. It's under British, though, isn't it? So I know we have that, like a big landing craft like that, but I thought we had like a flat one, too, for vehicles. Oh my god, is that a solid piece? I'm gonna check that. Because you better believe I'm gonna... Yeah, so it's the Marine Corps that have that stuff. Because I'm gonna be honest, all of this, guys, is just floating shit, you know? Like... They say they're called ships, alright? And you know what ships do? I'm thinking spaceships, baby. Really, though? They don't have any for OP4? Yeah, I don't have any Russian boats. They just have the PBX and the Zuber. So with crew, you get those 5. I'm just trying to see if there's anything... Yeah, you just have the frigate, but they don't have... Okay. Okay. So if that's going to be the case, I need, what, 5 crewmen? Yeah. And that controls that front one, that rear Sea Whiz, and then I would assume... Hold on, so what are the others? Commander, 127mm gun on the front, Phalanx on the rear, and then the Sea Sparrows, which I believe are those, so like cruise missile systems. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Falcon, I'm trying to figure that out. I think there would technically be a way. But again, this is just the brainstorming stage, but I think it would be really easy to set one of those up. It's a solid piece. Let me look at the weapon systems real quick. So you got... Only the engine's on. I don't think we're going anywhere. Yeah, so you're just sitting here as the bridge. Oh, that is something. So you have this gun, which I think actually... Does it have an artillery computer? No, so it acts as a direct fire cannon, unlike the other ships. Oh. Oh, man. And this is AA. Oh, my God. And then you have the rear Sea Whiz. I know the bridge is horribly raw on its cup, but, you know, what can you expect? Okay. To make a Blue 4 version of this, it's really simple. You just attach it to a freaking drone, and you're fine. Oh, man. This is forbidden shit. Oh, this is forbidden shit, guys. Oh, no. Oh. I want to put it somewhere where it doesn't think it's going to detect something, because I think if I put it on the floor, it's going to hitbox. So instead, we can shove that little bastard right there. Oh, balls. It's a stealth frigate. Now, the trick is, does it turn forward and go? And it should have turned forward by now, which means it's hitbox. No, it's still going up. Teased me a little bit there. Now, there is another trick I want to try.
Ready for orders.
Oh, God. There is one other trick. How do I do this again? Because there's another script I need to use. I just got to remember where it is. Copy, get object textures. Yes. And there's only one, which means if I were to grab a blank notepad, grab a copy of you, which I don't know why it went all the way over there. If we do object, set object texture global. What was that ping for? Oh, digital vagrant. Oh, vagrant, right, from, Cursed reported, yeah, right. Vagrant from FNF, right? Or am I being an idiot? Yeah, Falcon's here too. ZF? Ah, gotcha. My bad. Sorry, there's another guy now named Vagrant. Okay. So here's the thing. Here's what we're trying to bypass here. The general issue is, obviously, take off a drone flies off, all right? A potential solution, because if you disable the model, she doesn't fly off when she's attached to stuff. So you hear her spin up, but she doesn't actually fly. And then as soon as you enable the model, she'll take off. So what if it's not an issue of hiding the object's model, but hiding enough of the model to make it think it's hidden? So if you want to do that, you just, in the local Zeus client, set it as a global texture, and then we do this. You just take that quote out and hit OK. So it leaves this behind, but it'll take off. So it's not really less of a profile piece there, but it works. Why are you infinitely going upward? Oh, because you're showing me the hitbox size of that. See how it's now going forward? So realistically, if you wanted to, you could do something like this and put it a good distance away to hide the model to the best of your ability. Now, I can also look here. Do we have any other... Is that other piece tied to anything? So it's a -1, 1, reference point, 0, comma... Yeah, 0, 0 also works. No, there's nothing else that hides to it. So theoretically, if you wanted to, you could then attach it and fly it that way. Now, again, that's part of the weird issue with trying to fake models and stuff, because as obviously, that's still visible, but it's at least less visible so. And then you still have to get around the hitbox of the item itself, which is why I like the USS Wargame so much, because it has the perfect sweet spot of a vehicle because it's treated as a static texture. But I think even then, if I were to magically unattach this, you're going to start seeing that thing go forward now. I'm still using you, so let me hit the X key. But yeah, I hit the X key and wow, it even blew that up. Oh my god, okay, you know what? Still big. So like I said, still experimenting with everything, you know? Yeah, righto, Vagrant. Let me know. We'll say I'm not the best scripter. I just know how everything works, but I know people that can heavily script. But yeah, just let me know, man. Ah, the damn boat. What was that thing called? We're just going to type boat. So I guess the next thing I could technically experiment, but I think, again, it's just the hitbox. And you can see a little outline of that hitbox with the wire lines, but obviously it's going a little far to the left and the right to make everything work. But yeah, you know, not just a Vagrant, anyone. If you need, I have an open door policy on Discord. Just message me there, and I am more than happy to talk to you about anything. If you want to know how I did something, or you want to ask me, tell me how your day was, by all means. That's why I like that open door policy. But now we're going to experiment with a few different helicopter models. And usually when the drone doesn't work, the helicopter isn't going to either, but we can still try because we have this little hanger space back here. So theoretically, I could make an MI8 control it. It's just, I'm worried it's going to still have that infinite upwards glitch that we're seeing with the drone. So just stuff that you got to work with, you know? Where's my Discord at? Oh, someone linked it. I'm the best at finding the right people for the right job. No worry. Righto. I'm going to be honest. One of the really nice things about being, I like to personally call it a niche internet micro celebrity, but, you know, a YouTuber or streamer, is you do get a network of people. Really cool people, mind you. And, you know, everyone has their own little special skill over XYZ, which is always quite nice. Now, one little thing I want to do before I attach is I want to show you guys this script in the way of just parts it can hide and how cursed this can get. So it doesn't have a -1. Does it have a 0, 0? No. I mean, it's cup, so it probably isn't going to have too much there. Yeah, so 1 hit all the internal benches. It won't hide people inside if they physically spawn, by the way. But this is the cursed level of stuff you get. That actually hid something. And then however many, I think there's another script that can show you the like total amount of reference points, but this is... There you go. That's your helicopter. Just imagine that taking off against you. It'll fly. It'll fly. But no, this is all scripting 101, where you just literally test little inputs and see what they do, but... That thing will shoot at you, too. It's literally behaving... So let me explain the difference, all right? Let me explain the difference in that and literally just taking this and showing the model and hiding the model. Which, you still have the rotor appear... and the people, but as you can see, this isn't moving, but this is moving. Every item you see in Arma has textures, you know, to define its colors, its shape, what it looks like, yada-da. When you do this, you're telling the entire model just go invisible, because Arma has the feature of just, you know, disabling the model itself, and you can use that for various purposes. However, when you're doing scripting... specifically with set object texture, which, by the way, if you're doing it on multiplayer servers, you have to make sure you use set object texture global so it applies to everyone, because otherwise it just applies locally to the server. When you just use the set object texture command, which doesn't have the word global in it, that's used for single-player scenarios, whereas global's used for multiplayer scenarios. You're basically referencing a specific spot of the texture and then giving it a blank thing to load by not quoting anything. And this is how people custom texture stuff. Finding out where every reference point is defined by that variable, which not all of them are public, which is why you have those really weird Wonder Woman jets, as Zam would call it. But at least in that way, you can get the damn thing to work. So anyway, with all of that said and quickly explained, I'm going to fly that thing over there. We're going to basically now play some silly cursed random BS here. I'm going to put an MI8 on the back of this. I don't think it's going to work. I think it's going to have the infinite upward glitch, which, by the way, for those of you that don't know what that is, I'll explain it as we take off here. So every helicopter or air vehicle, actually no, it's mainly rotary assets, not necessarily fixed wing, but fixed wing will do it too to some degree, but it has to do with their object collision and how they detect objects to avoid colliding with. So by attaching something that this asset thinks they're going to collide with and they fly upward in a way to get over it, but since it's attached to them, it's always going to be there, it's going to infinitely fly upward to try to avoid something that's attached to them. Which is why I call it the infinite upward glitch, because you're just dealing with their pathing at that point. So it'll turn, it'll react to it, but it should have gone immediately forward there, and it didn't. Now, this only affects AI. If you want to make player custom comps, I mean, the player is going to be the one flying it, so it doesn't really matter too much. But I guess what I could theoretically do, and this is just going to make it look absolutely cursed, is we do something like this. We do we do set object texture. We'll do, because it looked, I think it went up to 3. We can do this, and then I can put that in front of the frigate. Again, this is gonna be horrible. And then we're going to spawn the boat. It's a Miko 200. I need to remember that. I'm going to rotate that forward. And if we put it, let's see. I want to move it so that front part of the texture line that you see, the mesh, is a little on the outside. You then attach that to that. And let's see if it goes. Bearded, physics are great, but physics don't apply to Arma 3. Alright, you can see people in quad bikes kill tanks just by ramming it into the freaking tank, alright? In a lawless world like that, there's clearly no rules, and therefore I can do whatever I want. Yeah, so that hit mesh is massive. See, well, watch. As soon as I delete it, he's going to fly forward in the tilt because he's not detecting anymore. So, yeah, some hitboxes are just much, much bigger than others. There are ways I could micro the hitbox as well. The way I like to do that is I cut and uncut the fuel. That way he flies up and down to help, you know, deal with that one issue. But I don't want to be juggling that during a Pay4Pain because there's probably other things that, you know, I'll have to be working on. So it does limit a little bit of my asset capability here because of these hitboxes. Now, I'd find it interesting if there was a way to turn off that feature as part of the AI, but as far as I'm aware, I mean, it's not a default list of, whatchamacallits. If we were to, you know, go to abilities. Maybe? Not really anything in here, because I always like to check on things. I know what most of these do. I don't remember all of them. You can go to Eden Editor and check these specifically, but... yeah, oh well. So, the frigate, what we could do instead is we can just have it be a drivable frigate instead of a flyable frigate. We can call it a land boat, and it'll still work the same way. But, you know... it's the same process of if Jesus can swim on water, or no, walk on water, can he swim on land? And the answer is yes. Now, one thing I want to do with this thing real quick before it tips over, simulation, I want to see if I can turn this into, like, something stupid. So can I attach a drone to it? Can it fly? And if so, can I put a, because there's actually like 2 different ways I could attach the drone, one direct and one not. So what I want to do is get the tase out. which is my little word for the Terran. Disable the simulation. And I'll do these tests one at a time, because one is going to look slightly better than the other, but again, I want to test it. Because anything you want to fly, obviously, needs to have a flight module. I guess I could also put it in front and do a rotation, but that's just going to make it look weird. Plus, you got to remember, if you have anything rotate more than 10 degrees in Arma 3, the AI detect that they're flipped, and they'll bail out of the vehicle, and they won't be able to shoot out of any turrets or whatnot. They literally get locked. If you use AI, such as drones or the AI turrets, they just refuse to fire. I don't know why that exists as a feature, because theoretically a flipped over AI turret should still shoot at people, but you know, video games. Well, let's take you off. And again, let's see if we get the same infinite flying forward glitch. Which we probably will, knowing how all this shit works. Yeah, it would have gone forward by... See, it is, but it's also going up still. Oh, wait. Wait. Oh. We're in business, baby. Okay, the other option I was going to do was to put it on the pole, but okay. Yeah, cool. And then we got a drone right there for reference, even though it's like a partially disabled one. Okay. All right. All right. Me likey a latte. Now, here's the thing. How do we make this a super weapon? All right? Oh, God, that would actually be perfect. We could go complete balls to the wall. And I could offer two separate things. We could have it,
let's give him a warm welcome.
a fighter and a bomber. Oh. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, there's two separate versions we can do. We can have that as the fighter. So this is, you know, with a gun turret, a 23mm cannon. And then the bomber, we can have be the D30 AT version, because this one's an artillery model and it behaves differently whenever you make something coded with artillery for artillery computers, because Arma just treats everything differently. So this won't direct fire, but this one will direct fire. Rule of thumb when you're doing stuff. I mean, just to show you guys what I mean. The AI, because it's artillery, and you can tell because it says it has an RD computer, well then, if they want to shoot something, they'll put their gun all the way up, and it, you know, if you give it a direct fire weapon, it doesn't make any sense. So if you go to this one, which is just meant to be a direct AT weapon, which is, you know, it's just a big-ass gun, the AI will treat it as a big-ass gun. So you have to use that. But my point is, here's what we're going to build. What I need to know first, though, is... do I want to give it an autocannon? No, because we're already going to have that as kind of the autocannon. So we want it to fire big freaking rounds. So I'm thinking, guys, big freaking rounds. We obviously want to go for the tank first, but you're not thinking outside of the box enough. What have we seen, guys? This is where we can interact. What have you seen that acts like a cannon that would make a true bomber? MLRS, you don't want to do rockets because AI don't use rockets properly with toes. Plus, the MLRS is an artillery system. You never rescript artillery systems on non-artillery systems because otherwise the AI doesn't know how to use it. So you can't use an MLRS. No, I'll give you a hint. We've already seen it before. My guys, my fans, my followers, my friends, my viewers. We have a 127mm cannon. That's our bomber. Now, how are we going to put this bad boy on this bad boy? It's really simple, actually. All you got to do is get a few scripts. So I'm going to tab out real quick and show you what I'm talking about. So, first thing we're going to do is we are going to grab this script. And this specifically copies all weapon turrets from whatever the class of the unit is to the clipboard. Now, usually the rule is -1 is the driver, so any planes or helicopters where they control the ordnance specifically, which can get a little tricky because of pylons, you do a -1, and it'll give you everything. However, -1 is, I believe, the driver here, so you're not going to be able to get anything. 0 is the gunner. Don't do a -0. That just gives you an infinite loop error. 0 is the gunner. 0, 0 is the commander. And then any subsequent seats after that is labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. How we detect this is we simply check who has the gun. So second seat in there, we remote control, he has control of the gun. So what we need is to put it as 0, because 0 is classified usually as the second seat, which is the gunner, also known as that little plus symbol. So we hit OK. If I did it right, there we go. That is our cannon. We're going to take that, copy it, we're going to put it aside in a notepad. Second thing we need to do is get the specific vehicle ammo for that gun. Now, this script is kind of funny because you don't have to reference anything. It just gives you the entire list of everything. So we have to now sift through this data and find that cannon, which also brings up an interesting point of, if I were to RC you again, we have the option between laser-guided and illumination rounds, or we just have a general HE round. So another way you can do it is if you double-click it, you can also go to, I believe, loadout, and it tells you every possible thing here, and it also gives you that scripted name, and you can then cross-reference the scripted name with what you're actually looking for. So for the HU, we're looking for cup_20 round _127. So in that copy paste, we got to find that specific one. I'll do it right here, and there you go. There's the round. We need to copy that. We need to put it aside. Now, last thing we need to do is we need to take the turret of the gun and do it. We need to grab it for referencing it, because generally when you're rescripting weaponry, you don't want to have the original gun turret fire, because sometimes the AI will default back to that original turret. White phosphorus is an illumination round. I know, Zam, but it's not. Illumination in Arma usually means illumination, unless it is a Willy Pete, in which case it'll tell you it's a Willy Pete, like SOG Prairie Fire, Unsun, those types of games. Mods for this game. So we take this because we're going to unscript the weapon, so it gives us the D30 cannon. Now we're going to grab a few more scripts, and we're going to practically copy and paste them in. So the scripts we're going to grab is remove turret, remove weapon turret, add weapon turret, and add magazine turret. And that's basically going to remove the weapon turret, and then add the weapon and ammunition that we want. Now, you don't have to remove. There is a remove weapon magazine, which you can use to remove specific types of magazines from a turret. But you don't need to do that if you remove the weapon, because then there's nothing for the weapon to fire. Like, there's no weapon to fire that ammo, so you don't need to worry about that. It just turns into extra code. And then we also need to make sure when we are writing this code, we reference the proper items. So for this, it's also telling you what seat you want to put it on, which is going to be -1 for all of this, because you have the option of having the driver, gunner, or commander use that weapon. What do you mean no entry? What? But we just... Yeah. That's weird. I copy and pasted something improperly, or I did something wrong with the quotes, something's wrong with my syntax. Where's the mistake? Where's my mistake? I put the wrong thing in the wrong thing. That's what I did. I'm pretty sure I just put the weapon code in the magazine and the magazine code in the weapon, because I'm a goober. However, it didn't remove the cannon, so maybe it was a 0 set. Here, let's try that. There we go. Yep. So this is controlled by a 0 key instead of a -1, which is fine, but is going to have unlimited ammo. I think 20 rounds is enough. I'm going to check its reload time, but I don't think a Sea Fox should have unlimited bomber ammo. I think 20 rounds is enough, guys. All right. Oh, God. Who ran in front of the turret? Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Okay. Now the build phase. All right, this is my favorite part, where we basically get to make some stupid shit. Make some stupid shit. Okay. So we're going to make two versions, a 23mm and a regular. So we need you, and we need you. Again, make sure we're grabbing the AT version, not the regular version, which is an already platform, because it won't work. And again, for pre-building them, this is the easy part, in all freaking honesty. In fact, I think I just need to do this. And then for you, it's just a matter of putting that there. Hopefully it won't get too close to the drone itself, because otherwise the drone will freak out. And then you, it's just a matter of putting you on. I mean, technically we could put you partially into the vehicle. So yeah, let's do that. Because as long as it doesn't screw with that thing's hitbox. So, in that sense then, we're also going to need crew. It's,
Send in Goat Team 6.
Don't worry about it.
Now.
And I think helicopter pilots would be cooler. So we're going to get helicopter pilots. Wicked Soul, thanks for the tier 1 sub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. All right, you put them there. And again, this is just so you get the skeletal frame of what you're making for the custom composition. Because this is how I do it. I'm always looking for ways to optimize it. If you know a way to optimize it, let me know. But I'm quickly going into here. I just want to see if I deleted the test, and it looks like I did. Yes, I did. Okay. So final quick check just to make sure everything's aligned properly, because, you know, you never know. Just want it to look even. All right, and then we're going to disable the simulation of it across the board. Because if you don't and you spawn it in, then it's going to spawn in with its simulation enabled, and it's going to blow itself up, and it's going to be really, really funny, but you don't want that. So let me just remind myself where I'm putting these for today. So Spetsnaz Summer, which I believe is a scroll up. Yep. POG, PFP. Because, you know, I'm intending to do these for a long while, so I'm going to label them, and anything that I, you know, watch back, I'll be able to easily dig up. And then we have the other one, which is, Bomber. No. Wait, but one second. No, if you change the name, though, it shouldn't overwrite. Apparently it does. Okay, well, screw me then. I thought I was trying to... Whatever. Saving systems sometimes don't work with me. Save as custom composition. Okay. And then quick test. Maybe make one of them drop mines. There's not really a way to do that other than the pamphlet system on drones, and that thing will crash servers. So I don't That's why I only used the pamphlet system like once or twice in my missions, because every subsequent time we did it after, it literally killed the server, and it's like, oh, okay. It's a really cool single-player feature, but like beyond that, it doesn't really like to work. Okay. Okay. So now we go into here, Sea Fox Fighter. Easy one, because we're not doing any weapon rescripting. We're just testing now if I moved anything a bit too close to it. So we're going to disable damage, enable simulation, because that fall usually kills the turret, and then we can re-enable the damage of these Vics. And let's see if they go forward. Now, another thing I could do is I could technically give this infinite ammo. Now, again, the deflate is going to be a problem until the drone starts flying us forward. No, this isn't for TSB, this is for POG. There we go. Yeah, so then you have the deflate enough to... I think I'm going to keep it as non-infinite ammo, because if this has infinite ammo, it's going to get messy. But yeah, here's your fighter. This kills infantry. And now we're going to spawn the bomber. Bomber, we have to do something a little different, because we still have that line of code to rescript its weapon. So to do that, we just tab out. I always have a notepad tabbed out ready to go. We put that on there. Click that. Enable simulation, disable the damage so it doesn't break the drone when it falls. Re-enable the damage on those. And there you go. And now we see if that is going to infinitely go forward, or excuse me, upward, or if it's going to go forward because it's clipping with the hitbox of the D30. And it's going forward. And now this thing has a cannon. And it fires actually pretty quickly. Tally-ho! Ah, shit. Little bit of shake. Makes it a little hard to aim. There we go. I'm sorry? Oh! Did I not? No, okay, I killed the boat texture. I haven't hit the gun, though. Yeah, so eventually it'll cook off, and that'll... Usually when I see that, then I'll end key that, and we'll blow that up, and then ship goes down. Which, if anything, it would actually be cooler if I just deleted this, and then it, you know, just immediately falls. And then it has physics, and, you know, everything falls apart. There's a lot of different ways you can kill your fun little assets there. But yeah, no, there you go. Little quote-unquote fighter and bombers. Little spaceships to make everything work. Because the bigger ones have massive hitboxes, and it's like, not possible to make them work. It's a pain in the butt. Couple static ships. Yeah, so these are all in pieces. Then again... Another thing I could theoretically experiment is if the static piece works, but as you can see, it doesn't. Because it's kind of just, you can't actually move it. What the heck? This gives me ideas. That actually gives me some ideas. Huh. Very interesting. A ghost ship. But I'm assuming that's a module because it's controlled by multiple parts. Yes. And of course, these are invisible things that aren't added. So yeah. The reason they do that is because in order to make things in Arma 3 work, in terms of if you want to be able to walk on them or they need to have textures, you can't make them greater than 70 by 70 meters. Holy crap, what the heck are you made out of? But yeah, fun fact there. I learned that one the hard way, I think like a year ago when I made an op for the 506. And they were falling through the little ground texture I made for them. You know how all that is. Alright. I think we have a good start. I'll probably introduce another helicopter prototype because I always like those. Real quick, let me look and see if we have anything else in Eden to think about. But it's a good start. And then I have another template from, oh, why is my mind blanking? From Patchwork for that other thing, and we can work from there. I have a feeling you're... So this is interesting, because they're actually spawning in differently and behaving as different models, which means, theoretically, I wonder if this is working as a static asset. And the reason we want it to be a static asset is that's how the War Games is generally made, because it's a single static. So I'm going to quickly come back in, and I just want to check to see if it's built in pieces like that, or if it's one solid object like the HMS Prometheus. When the Russians run out of planes, they use... They use the spaceships, baby. Though now that I have overcome the rotation barrier, this also technically means I could rotate something 180 degrees into a... Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could. I forgot why that was such a gateway, and now I remembered why. Because now I can make super vehicles on the ground. Not every custom comp has to fly. In fact, that just creates a really annoying barrier. Yeah, no, so it's not a spawnable item. So let me try this then, theoretically. By the way, fun fact, if you want to get around something that you can't spawn in the Zeus interface, you just make it into a custom composition. Watch this. Boom. Save. Test. Okay. Play. Multiplayer. Usually this will get you past anything that's quote-unquote hidden. There is a layer of hidden files, though, that even bypass custom compositions. There's nothing you can do about that. The only way you can spawn it is by directly knowing its line of code to then have a spawn script to, you know, physically spawn it. But usually a good hint of that, it's in 3 parts, so I can't use it. Because if you spawn it, then it's going to be in those parts, which you can't then... Well, no. Actually, no. Because that was a limitation for pre-building. And you would still have to attach them. But if it's only in 3 components, then theoretically you could just add them all to your interface and then attach them. Then you could just add them like that. Now, can they be rotated? Oh. Okay. The gears are turning. The gears are turning. They're turning quick, they're turning fast, but they're turning. See, so the fact that it's detecting that as a static is a little worrisome, because I think that's a big indication that he's just going to fly infinitely upward. He'll probably do it there too, but here. As long as you do the right pieces, because it won't tell you what it is, but you can tell by the hitbox size. Yeah, if you delete that, and we delete that, which I think, yeah, is an invisible helicopter pad, which is just meant to tell the AI how to behave. I think he's still going to detect he's on the ground, so he's not going to initiate forward momentum. Because he was detecting as a ground asset you saw when he surface snapped, because he should be going forward by now. But stuff like this is why I'm giddy. Because if we can do rotations... I mean, quite simply, it means we can do shit like this. Disable simulation. Disable damage. I need a base piece to work with. Yeah, it's going to just infinitely fly upwards. Let me get rid of that. It means we can... Since automated drones are my favorite thing to work with, especially this, because it's got a good balance of speed, we could technically do that. You can put it... Yeah, so this is an annoying thing about the texture, though, so you have to drag it in instead. Make micro adjustments there. Cool. Attach that to that. Now, how do we do it? It was before we re-enabled the simulation. So if you rotate this on the roll 180 degrees, so we'd have to, you'd have to maneuver its pieces in Eden so you saw where the rotation was, but theoretically, you could make something upside down and then you have all of this blank space for build area. And that's where things get crazy. Interesting. Oh, I screwed up the rotation, or it bypassed the rotation and still attached it to that. But so many options now. Because in order to do large tanks, for example, to set scale things up and down, you have to initiate it on player local for each frame, which means you have to have them pre-built, so there's no way to custom comp it. So instead, you could just make your own big tank by taking something like this, flipping it over 180 degrees, and then putting the biggest freaking cannon you can find on it, or making some silly little texture. But there's so many possibilities. My brain's just trying to flash through 3 years worth of failed experiments, and now realizing which ones are now possible and which ones aren't. And it is debilitating. Oh, man. But here's my goal. I am going to... It's 2 a.m. I'm going to sleep for a few hours. Enjoy it. Because I haven't had, like, more than 4 hours of sleep over the past 2 days. I'm going to enjoy that. I'm going to edit some videos. I'm going to work on the document. I got to get everyone sorted for Checkpoint RP because slotting opens up for that on Wednesday, 1 p.m. EDT, which is in 11 hours. And then write the Pay4Pain doc for this. And this is going to be beautiful. Oh, man, because that also means I have building stuff again, which means I can do my ship designs for 40K. Oh, baby. Oh, man. So it means they're all spawnable. We just have to do the specific rotate commands. We have to note all of that, which is going to make anything with a rotate command take an additional 10 seconds of spawn time. But it's possible. Sorry, mind's exploding here. Cheers, guys. Have a good one. See you when I see you tomorrow.